Well, hi guys. Welcome to another day, and I'm in a bit of a foul mood today. I have had nothing but electrical oopsie-daisies all week, and it is really starting to bug me. My phone is the latest casualty. Plugged it into my laptop last night whilst I'm doing my rendering and the phone battery's dying, so I just plug it into the laptop, it tends to charge. And all of a sudden it started coming up with unfortunately the UI has stopped working, and I'm going to hazard a guess it's user interface. I don't have a clue what UI stands for, but now I can't use the phone. So I've come into work today without a phone. Well, I say without a phone, I do actually have a phone, the backup phone. However, the issue with the backup phone, I've had that phone, or that phone number, that SIM, it was a pay-as-you-go, crikey, since I was about 20, 21, something like that. And the issue is that over time, the number's being caught by spam bots of some description or whatever, and I get nothing but phone calls, just sales phone calls, text messages, the work. It just carpet bombs it. As soon as it's been on for about an hour, that's it. It's done. It's just carpet bombing. It's literally a useless phone, so I can't leave it on. It's literally for emergency purposes, so if anything does go wrong, I can contact someone. But yeah, I don't have the phone. My Toshiba laptop, that white one, I was downloading Steam, and amazingly enough, my internet is really crap. I live in the middle of nowhere, and it dropped out halfway through downloading Steam, and it flashed up, this needs connection to the internet, please check connection, that kind of crap. So I sorted that out, but unfortunately it got stuck in a loop. I don't know what file it had decided to be downloading when it lost connection. I haven't got a clue, but it got stuck in a loop, and I couldn't uninstall it. I couldn't directly download it from Steam themselves, not via the game. It just got stuck in a loop. It wasn't doing anything, so I had to format that. So that is currently sitting down by the side of my chair in my living room without anything on it, having to be turned on, ready to auto upload its operating system or whatever. So that's knackered. My HP is still working, which is why I'm able to continue to do the vids, or the vlogs I should say, because I was using HP to begin with. It's still got all the stuff set up on it. My phone's gone wrong. I just... People wonder why I'm against autonomous vehicles. I mean, Jesus, your phone goes wrong, it's kind of, oh, what are you going to do? I've got to take tomorrow off now to go and try and get it fixed. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to wander in, because I always buy my handsets outright, and I'm just going to go, look, XYZ's happened, can I upgrade to the new LG G5? And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to piss arse about with it, I'm just going to upgrade. But, you know, you sit there and you think, oh, autonomous stuff is really good, way, and then it goes wrong. And I've got no user interface on my mobile phone, and it's all touchscreen. No buttons on it. So there's absolutely no way I can do anything with it. I've taken the battery out, restarted it, I've done everything I can think of. Nope. And of course the laptop, that got stuck in a reboot loop because of Steam. I don't know what gone on there, but Steam's an executable file, so something went funky. So that's knackered, so I had to format that. And you sit there and you think, okay, this happens and it's a real pain in the rear end. It's an annoyance, it's a pain. And then you sit there and you think, well, what happens if it happens to your autonomous vehicle whilst you're trundling along or hurtling along at 80 miles an hour? With you, your missus and your kids in the car. Then what? That's more than a slight irritation, that's death. You know what I mean? this is my issue with electronic technology. It goes wrong so easily. I'm in a foul mood with it, and I'm just. My cameras went wrong, then my laptop needed formatting because my internet dropped out. Now my phone's knackered. You know, people are going to be sitting there, oh well, you plugged it into your laptop. Have you got a virus on it? You know, is there a virus or something? I've got Kaspersky, and it's usually really good. I just don't know. I'm fed up with the entire electronic technology thing. I mean, you look across at the guy who runs Tesla. I've forgotten his bleak name because I'm not thinking down that route. And you look at all the stuff he's invested in. You know, electronic cars. He's got vested interests in autonomous vehicles. I think he's investing or looking into helping to create technology to potentially end up living on Mars. He's got various bits and bobs, fingers in all different little pies. And then you sit there and you think, he watched Total Recall in the 80s and thought it was a bleeding documentary, didn't he? Driverless electronic cars living on Mars. And I think there's something he's investing in, or he's, you know, behind the scenes of in some way, shape or form. You know, the potential hypothetical ability to download the human brain. And of course, if you can do that, you could then upload to it, can't you? It's literally just the entire plot of Total Recall. That's all it is. Electronic cars that drive themselves. The ability to download your brain and upload to it, potentially. Hypothetically, it's plausible, I suppose. And then living on Mars. And you just sit there and you slam your head against things and you think, come on, seriously? And then, of course, you know, tiny little things like your phone goes wrong. And it's almost the end of the world. I don't like it. Just give me something mechanical that isn't controlled by a computer and I'm happy. Because if it goes wrong, you pull that component part out, you put that component part in, or you hit it with a hammer. You know, tell me, what on a chip can I tinker with? You know, your car goes wrong these days, and you've got to have software that costs roughly the same amount as my dad's first house. Otherwise, oh well, you can't work on it. Oh, no. You can only work on a car these days with a laptop. It's like, oh, sod off. But anyway, I'm in a bit of a film. It's like Windows 10. I don't know, I'm supposing most of you guys have got Windows 10. Are you ever sitting there or doing something on Windows 10, then all of a sudden Cortana pops up? How can I help you today? Sod off! Just randomly pops up. You might accidentally, you know, you're moving your mouse and you might brush something that you shouldn't have done, or you didn't know you'd brushed on the whatever, and boom, up it comes. It's like, how can I help you today? You can't uninstall it, can you? No. Oh no. Everyone's got to have a personal assistant. Anyway, I'm getting a bit annoyed. Today, I have what I had yesterday. Reading, Didcot, Wellingborough. Woohoo! I'm just waiting in front of the dock because it's on a red light. And I've got to wait till it goes green before I can go and hook up to my trailer, obvious reasons. There is potential that I could end up stopping in at Sharewell, although because of the amount of time I've been sitting in the yard, I started at 10:30, it's 11:45 now. That's going to have a bit of a knock-on effect. I mean, I've been on POA for about 40 minutes, but I don't know how long before the light changes, so I can't really leave you on POA at the moment. Site rules, things like that. But it's the day I had yesterday. I can't work tomorrow because I've got to go and sort the bleeding phone out, so I'm losing a day's worth of pay over an electronic device. But anyway, I shall see you on the road. Hopefully normal service will resume. Well, we're on the M25 on a gloriously sunny day doing a run I really love, but I'm just in a foul mood today. I'm in that kind of mood where you sit there and you think, let's just throw all my electronic equipment out and just disconnect myself and walk away. Because I've never liked it. never, ever liked all of this electronic technology. I just don't get on with it. Everything breaks. You know, your house can start subsiding, your car lets you down, your motorbike goes wrong, your push bike wheels fall off. You know, you get punctures, your gun goes wrong. Things go wrong, that's fine. But the issue is with electronic devices, is it's not like your car going wrong where it's a pain in the rear end. It's not like if your select trigger goes wrong and you can't fire your gun anymore. It's not like a puncture or something like that. It's everything's on there. All your contacts, all your bits and bobs, like I'm a YouTuber, so all those bits and bobs. You know, obviously personal information saved on it, and your browsing history, depending on what kind of individual you are. Everything is on there. And so when it goes wrong, you have to give it away to somebody to fix it. They get access to all of your information, everything. And there is something very wrong about that. There is something very fundamentally flawed about the entire principle. Which is why when phones for me go wrong, it's more a case of I just replace the phone. I don't get it fixed. Okay, I lose photos, I lose, you know, certain contact information that I have to struggle to try and replace. It is a bit of an annoyance, but nobody gets access to my information. It's not being sent away to some spotty little geek just out of school who can go through my phone and go, oh yeah, and all of a sudden you've been hacked, all that kind of crap. And it's just an annoyance, because I haven't had a holiday in 2 years, and I've got 2 weeks away, paid for already. I just need to spend the money and the fuel money at the end of July. And it's not an official holiday, because obviously looking at houses and things like that, but it's getting away, it's doing something different. And I've got spending money put to one side. Well, now my phone's gone wrong, and I've got to get another phone. And I don't do the entire, oh well, have the phone but pay for it over X amount of time. No, I just pay for it outright. That bang goes half my spending money. It's such an annoyance. And of course these cameras, I mean, the SJ isn't vibing right with the VO when I'm rendering it all. So of course the SJ's losing frames and the VO isn't, or the VO's losing frames and the SJ isn't, and the quality's gone down, so I can either have 2 SJs and have crap sound quality, or 2 VOs and just keep replacing them every 8 months. It's just... Oh, we'll get a GoPro. Yeah, well then that's 400 quid for my facing one, and then that's another 400 quid for the forward facing one, and it's like, really? Electronic equipment annoys me, it irritates me, it aggravates me, I detest it to my core. People often say, why do I want to go to Canada and live in the more northern areas of Canada than the southern ones, so kind of north of Winnipeg and higher? Because I won't be so dependent on bloody electronical equipment. Just, yeah. Other than that, today's actually a good day. It's a sunny day. The roads are free flowing. I've got a run that I really do like doing. I mean, Reading Deep Copwell is a great run, primarily because there tends to be a Greggs involved at some point. I don't know, I'm annoyed. Anyway, or I shall most likely see you when I get to Reading. But until then, enjoy some sped up footage. Here we are on the M4. I was going to wait till I got to Reading, but then I realised something. You see, I was going to respond to something that was said. Not in a bad way, not in a bad way. But I realised that I'd have to try and remember the name off the top of my head. And I thought, oh, well, I'll wait till I get to Reading, then I can check my phone. And then my brain went, numbnuts, you don't have your phone on you. So I was like, ooh, that's true. So it was in my sped up footage, one of my filler videos, you know, view from the cabin. And a person commented, now, I'm trying to remember your username, and I might get it wrong. Chances are I will get it wrong. So many apologies, but I think it was Crafty Pumpkin. I think. Something similar to that, whatever. I'm sure you'll recognise yourself. But anyway, this particular person, you know, said a couple of things, but pointed out one thing in particular, and that is that they'd noticed that whatever the idiots in the cars are doing, I don't seem to lose my rag, I don't seem to get really aggressive. The thing is, I suffer hugely from road rage, I really do. The red mist of hatred descends on me regularly. But over time, being passengers in other people's cars and realising that most of the four-wheel idiots on the road don't actually know what they're doing. You know, they go straight on at a roundabout cutting somebody off, and you're sitting in the passenger seat going, dude, you just cut that person completely off. You just went straight. No, I didn't. I was in my lane. I know where I was. And you're sitting there as a professional driver in a passenger seat where you're about half a foot away from the curb going into the roundabout, 9 foot away from the curb on the roundabout, half a foot away coming off, and you're like, no, I know you. No, I didn't. And you just get into that massive argument, and you realise that a lot of people, a lot of four-wheel car drivers, they don't have a clue. They really don't. Now, in my younger years, I was one of those people that if you did anything that offended me, I would dish it back to you 10 times over. There's one incident one incident in particular. Now, I can't go into details on a lot of them because I don't know what the statute of limitations are on them, but this was an undisclosed length of time ago. And this car had annoyed me. We're trundling up a motorway, and I'm in my car, long before I became an HGV driver. And they'd annoyed me. And so what I was doing was they were in the middle lane, there was 3 lanes. I was basically, eating my horn, swearing, I'm doing all the usual bits, but I was overtaking them, going in front of them, going into the near side, slowing down, going back out, and I was just going round them like that, all the way up there, just literally hurling abuse at them the entire time. And the reason I was doing it was because I was driving circles round them. How stupid is that? How dumb is that? But that's kind of a relatively innocent, nobody got hurt. I wasn't, doing anything illegal. I mean, when I was on the inside, they were going past me. When I was on the outside, I was going past them. So I wasn't really breaking any laws other than hurling abuse at them. But no, I really did. But as I've got older, and in these things, you can kill someone really easily. And there is a really simple trick to avoid it. Now, I've learnt this, okay? I seriously suffer from road rage. I've learnt this trick, and trust me, it works. 100-fold, it works. Observation is key. It really is. It genuinely is. You might sit there thinking, well, I get annoyed with other road users, and I've got really good observation. No, I'm talking about real observation. Like everybody sits there and happily says about the blind spots in trucks. There is a reflection in the windshield. I can see out the corner of my eye. Yeah? I can see out the corner of my eye. Anything moves, it hits that windshield. I can see it, I've got it in my mirrors. And that's just a reflection on the windshield. Not the mirrors, the windshield. Now that's peripheral observation. And if you hone that, and you really do, pay attention to your seat mirrors up correctly and all that kind of stuff, whether you're in your car, whether you're in your truck, whatever you're driving, you see everyone. And you develop a kind of sixth sense about other road users. It's quite bizarre. When your observation goes up, your ability to spot things earlier increases, and you kind of begin to read the road and read road users. You start driving their vehicles, if that makes sense. And I can spot somebody who's going to cut in a mile off. Literally, I can see them coming. They're in the 3rd lane, I'm in the near side lane, I'm 100 yards away from a junction, a slip road. I've seen them, they're barreling down at a rate of knots. You're literally watching their front end rise as they're accelerating. And you know where they're going. You just know that as soon as they get there, they're gonna swerve. And you just know. And so when they do, you just sit there and go, because you've seen it coming. It's a lot of road rage, and I don't, I'm no psychologist or anything like that, but a lot of road rage, from my perspective, is not anger at the person themselves for having done something silly. It's shock. It really is. It's shock that just happened. You weren't expecting it. All of that, and of course that shock manifests itself into anger, which you then project on the person that caused it. And the one thing I will tell anybody now who gets really aggravated with idiots on the road, and believe you me, I could regale you with some stories that would land me in jail, so I'm not going to, but I could. It's observation really is the key, because if you take the shock out of what's about to happen, the aggression doesn't build. You just sit there going, well, what a div that person is. Literally, that's it. Because the shock is what causes the anger. The initial whoa, and you get really angry about it. You're like, what the? Could have killed me, and all that kind of stuff. Now take for example me today. Now I used to. I mean, I've kind of got over this now because of my observation and what I've learned from being a driver. I'm in a bad mood. My dog and bone has gone up the Swanee. And I'm in a foul mood. I really am, because I can't respond to anybody's comments today, and I'm letting the team down by doing that as far as I'm concerned. And it's really aggravating for me because my life is kind of on hold. I can't work tomorrow, I'm losing money, I'm not responding to you guys when you're asking questions or commenting or whatever. I can't tweet about anything, I'm missing a huge amount. I'm really angry. But I'm not angry at other road users. My anger is aimed at my phone, because it's gone wrong. And so I'm not leaning out the window screaming loads of abuse at drivers who didn't indicate when they changed lanes, or somebody who came out the slip road at the last minute and went hello. You know, I'm not, because I'm still observing, I'm still looking. I can see a car's overtaking me coming up to a slip road. Now it was right up my rear end. Is it going to use a slip road? Well, no, in that situation it's not. But I saw it, so if it had have done, I'd have been like, whatever. Do you see what I mean? Whereas if I was just sitting here like, and then that car had gone past me, I wouldn't have realised it had been up my rear end. I wouldn't have realised it had just pulled out to overtake me, and it would have just appeared and gone that way, and I'd have been like, whoa! You see what? It's observation. It takes so much rage out of driving. It's unbelievable. If you suffer from road rage when people, you know, cut in or whatever, it's because you are not looking. It's the shock of what they're doing is causing you to get angry. So if you think you've got good observation, but you suffer from road rage, clearly you don't have as good an observation as you think you do. Because trust me, it really it decreases your rage towards other road users 100 times. I mean, like that reverse manoeuvre I did at Sydney Street, the two ladies, that was shock. I was looking in that mirror expecting the banksman, you know, to be yelling out, "Oh, stop," or, you know, whatever. And of course, I just noticed out the corner of my eye the first woman walked, and that was shock. The second woman walked past. Now I'm already angry at them. But if I'd have not put as much faith in the banksman as I did, and I'd have been more, chances are I wouldn't have reacted at all. I wouldn't have even said, "Do you really think that's an intelligent idea?" But I was angry because it shocked me. It came from nowhere. It was like, what the hell? But again, I can relate to my anger in that situation as beginning with shock, due to, well, a lack of observation in that respect. So the reason I can stay calm when all around me seem to be going nuts is because I've seen them coming. You're just seeing them, you know, appearing on the camera. It's like I'm driving along perfectly happily, and then boom, and you're probably sitting there going, and he's just not even reacting to it. What a bloody hell! I've seen them in that. I've made a judgment call. That's what they're going to do. Now, okay, I've seen somebody starting to overtake me, like that fool, and I said, are they going to use a slip road? Now I was thinking, they were right up my rear end, they've decided to overtake me, I'm coming towards a slip road, they could very well use a slip road. Okay, I was wrong, they didn't use a slip road, but at least I was expecting it. So if they had have done, it would have been a case of, instead of shock, horror, oh my god, what an idiot, hit it all, and all the wind, and you know, the old soldiers farewell and take off, you know. But that's the key to remaining calm. What causes your aggression is the initial shock. And then of course the aggression comes along. It was caused by that person shocking you at the last minute, and now you're projecting all your anger on them, and of course you're leading out the cab, giving them all a load of abuse. But that's the one thing I have learned. So a little tip if you do suffer from road rage: increase your observation. Notice the reflection on your windshield in a truck. I'm unsure about a van. I'm sure it does have something similar, but I don't know to what degree. But just notice it, and you will spot things, little things at your peripheral. You just notice it, and it'll take your attention, and you'll see it. But anyway, I shall crack on. I will most likely see you at Reading, definitely, because I'm not waiting to look at my phone, because I don't have my phone on me. So yes, I shall most likely see you at Reading. Well, for anybody who hasn't guessed, I'm at Sherwell Valley on my break. Reading, it was all hands to the deck. I mean, Didcot, it was straight in, straight out. It was busy as anything. So yeah, here we are at Sherwell Valley. I've had my Greggs. I've had my Greggs. It's cheered me up a bit. But I've had a nasty realisation. I see my spare phone is literally I leave it turned off unless I need it, and I sent my other half a text on it saying, look, you know, my phone's knackered, contact me on this one for the day. So that, you know, when I stop I turn it on, I just double check and go through all the sales bollocks and get rid of it. Anyway, I've realised that the number in my phone for my other half is her old phone on the old network. Because when I got my LG G4, she also went out and got an LG G4 herself through O.T.R. Now, before you start saying, oh wait, it's because you got an LG. I am not very good with technology, as well you know. And as you know, the glass covering for the camera was smashed when it went against the handbrake. Well, whenever it was loading a bit slow or getting a bit stuck, tap 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 is always what I used to do with it. I'm one of those people, if it's not loading quick enough, I give it a tap. I'm like, come on, wake up. And of course you can't really do that with the electronic equipment. You'll knacker it. Now my other half, like I said, she got an LG G4 at the same day I got my one, exactly the same day. And her one works perfectly fine. Her one's okay. The battery's doesn't last as long any longer, but that happens. But no, it's chances are the epic failure of my LG is down to me. I wouldn't blame LG for it. But anyway, I'll see whether I can get it sorted out and go from there. There is a strong possibility I'm just going to upgrade. I'm just going to bite the bullet, sod off and upgrade it. But yeah, anyway, there we go. Yes, but anyway, I shall finish out my break and then sod off to Wellingborough. So I'll most likely see you there. Well, we've made it to Wellingborough. Lovely jubbly, nice and easy. Load is ready, so I better go find that, take it back, and then that'll be me done. Obviously I've got tomorrow off because I've got to go and see if I can either get the phone fixed if it's an easy fault that I'm overlooking, or upgrade it, because I'm not going to send it away to get fixed. I mean, if it's going to be one of those moments, it's a case of I'm going to lose virtually everything on it anyway, so I might as well get a new phone, you know. But anyway, I'm going to end it today here like I did last time. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. Seems to be working, and I'll catch you in the next one, which I might do a short one tomorrow. So see you later.